Greetings. Last week we talked about God's grace and love and how it sustains us, completely apart from all our accomplishments and all the ways that we fall short. That kernel of who we are in God's eyes, not what we do, but who we are, beloved children of God. This brings up the topic of authenticity as it relates to living a full-hearted life. Bishop Jake Owensby addresses this topic in his book, A Full-Hearted Life Following Jesus in This Secular Age. The kernel of who we are is that beloved child of God, unique and beautifully and wonderfully made. That is our authentic self. And our authentic self longs to be expressed and seen and recognized by the world. And this is where it gets a little complex. See, our culture encourages us to look at our own unique, authentic self as an individual. And each individual has their own characteristics, their own ways of being in the world. All of those things are internal to us. They exist inside of us, and others can't know about them unless we express those things, right? So for instance, if I love the color green, you won't ever know that unless I express it somehow, maybe by dyeing my hair green. We're in a moment in history when, in general, our culture encourages people to express their authentic self. Now, there are some aspects of a person's authentic self that are more socially acceptable to express than others. No one minds too much these days if you dye your hair green. But if part of your authentic self is, for example, a gender expression other than cisgender, expressing your authentic self can be a risk. Our culture is only supportive of expressions of a person's authentic self to a certain extent. We still have social norms that restrict authentic expression of who we are. And so with all of that focus on expressing or not expressing our authentic self, it's easy to forget that our true authentic self isn't limited to whatever we feel deep inside ourselves. Our true authentic self is that deep self in relationship with the God who made us the way we are, beautifully and wonderfully unique and beloved. In order to live life authentically, we have to move beyond mere self-expression and into continuing discovery of our deepest authentic self that is constantly being transformed through relationship with God. So living authentically becomes an ongoing dialogue between ourselves and God that continues as long as we live. Sometimes it's easier to see how God has worked in our lives in the past than to see how God is working in the present. So this week, I invite you to reflect on your authentic self at some time in the past and compare that with your authentic self now. How has God worked within you for transformation? How have you grown and matured over time? Has your authentic self become more God-centered than self-centered over the years? What helped that transformation? Blessings.